Do you ever find yourself sneaking into your kid's room in the middle of the night and just staring at them with this overwhelming mix of pride and fear? Do you ever wake up in the middle of the night and wonder if you're doing enough to help your kids be ready for the future that awaits them, for all the uncertainty that's around? Do you ever watch the news and just feel this pang of pain of not knowing if your kids will be able to handle everything that is going to be thrown their way? Hi, I'm Marcy. I have been a teacher for 27 years, and in that time I have had the blessing and the privilege of working with kids from kindergarten through young adults in college. I have taught every single grade in between. When I first started teaching though, I was still single, and I was in my early to mid 20s, and actually late 20s, and I was pretty close in age to some of my students. And I started to see that I needed more tools in my own toolbox to handle interacting with my students, because I didn't know how to establish that balance between letting them know that they were cared for and heard and understood, and being the authority figure and still being their guide and their leader. So I started studying the best ways to accomplish that, to reach that balance. Then when I got married and became a parent, I started trying to bring in a lot of what I had learned through that research into my own parenting. But I quickly realized that doing this with your own kids, it's a little bit more complex than doing it with kids you just see for 15 minutes and send home. So what I realized, among many other things, was that when you are a parent, you are hardly ever fully alone in the process of deciding how to raise your kids. There's often a partner involved, a spouse, a husband, a wife. There are oftentimes family members who are very well intentioned and rally around you to try to give you advice and support. But there's all these different perspectives being thrown your way, and in the end, deciding which of all these is the best to use with your kid can become really confusing. I found myself in that position when my kids were born, and I was trying to balance everything that I knew from the science and the studying and the research with everything that I was being told by people with experience and with wisdom and with love. And I found that a lot of the information out there is really conflicting. Another thing that I found that was really interesting to me was that most of the parenting information out there is geared towards parents of babies, toddlers, and just infants. There's very little that is actually written towards parents of teens. And that has shifted a little bit in the last few years, but it's still mostly problem-based, not solution-based. And it just becomes all confusing, and a lot of it is even contradicting. So what I devoted the rest of my years to doing since my kids were born was researching all the different information that was out there, curating it in a way, figuring out which made sense to me and which didn't, and then testing it out with my students and my own kids. And what I bring to you is the result of all those years of research and studying and passion, of testing the information and the tools with my students and with my own kids, and figuring out which things seem to help propel these kids forward in the most positive way, and which actually builds relationship and close rapport between the adult and the teen or the kid. And that's what I bring to you in these videos. And my passion is to really help parents develop a toolbox that will help them bring their family's success to the forefront, that will empower them to know that they're doing the best job possible for everybody in their family, and creating environments of connection, of clear communication, and of engagement in a way that there's peace and there's success and there's cooperation without the nagging and the yelling and all the frustration that often comes with parenting. I'm in this same journey with you. I am still trying to figure some things out. I'm still testing things out. And I just want you to hop along with me on this trajectory as we discover the best way to empower our families towards a successful future. Thanks for joining me and for taking the time to watch. And I want to hear more about you. So share some of your experiences, some of your joys, and some of your concerns down in the comments below. Thanks again.